Ringo TV reactions. Make sure you rate, comment, and subscribe. Let's get down to work. So, what I want to talk about right now is something that took place today, right? And maybe this might help you in your life. I've been talking a lot about the migrant situation going on in NYC, and basically what happened was the Most High pretty much humbled me. And I want to share this with you because it really taught me something. My wife is very given. She's a very, very given woman. I mean, she will give you the last bit of clothes she have. She'll find shoes. She's the type that would just go out of her way to give. And it's one of her greatest strengths and one of her greatest weaknesses. And from time to time, I get frustrated because she's such a giver that sometimes I'm like, you're doing too much. So basically, she gathered a lot of things, and pretty much took it upon herself to just go out and, give to the migrants. And, me, I'm like, look, that's not our problem. You know what I mean? Let the government deal with this. And I was pretty much just frustrated. And I have to be transparent with you because I would not be a man of truth if I am not transparent and truthful about my own issues. So she paid me no mind. She's just on her mission to do what she got to do. And I'm like, look, the government allow these folks to come here. They out in these streets. Let the government figure it out. Let them do what they got to do. And she's like, no, I got to give. You got to understand these people are in need. And, she said, this, how I am. And because she's a given person. I wasn't stopping her from giving anything. It's just that she goes out of her way. When I tell you out of her way, like once she starts, you can't stop her. She's like the ultimate giver. So she packed up probably like 7 bags. And I'm talking about, like garbage bags, the big heavy duty garbage bags you get from Home Depot. Like she literally packed up like 7 of those bags, packed with stuff that she just, things that she's not using, things, the kids may not be using, coats, clothes, you name it. Any sort of items, toothpaste, toothbrushes, brand new. Everything is like on point. So she head on out to go do whatever she got to do. And before that happened, I was like, F the migrants. And I have to be honest with you. I have to be transparent. I was like, F the migrants. You know what I mean? That's not my problem. And I wasn't having an argument with her. Like we weren't having no argument. There was no fight. There was nothing like that. This is just me speaking out loud because sometimes she can be so given, it becomes a little frustrating because I'm like, look, you have, for example, you have people out there that take advantage of people. And these are the kind of things that I was more concerned with is like, sometimes you might have people that will take advantage of you because you're such a giver, And that is what was going on in my mind. I'm like, look, sometimes you might have people that are, they just take advantage of your weakness. But in her mind, she figure she's doing the right thing. So I just let her do what she do. But in the process of that, I was like, F the migrants, Not F them as if though I don't, give a crap about them. My point was, the government brought them here. The government should be handling their business. You know what I mean? So in the process of me saying that, she left out. She went, did what she had to do. And I'm like, you bugging, you tripping. But it is what it is. So I continue doing what I'm doing. And she calls me. She calls me on the phone. And she FaceTimed me when she called, right? She FaceTimed me when she called. And she said, there's this guy here and he's cold. Now, it's pretty cold outside, right? Now, keep in mind, earlier I was like, F the migrants. I don't care. It is what it is. But then she called me and she FaceTimed me. So when she FaceTimed me, this Spanish guy, he was standing next to her and he was like, it's cold, mucho frío, and I'm there listening. And it was one of those moments where, if you can recall in the scriptures where Peter denied the Messiah 3 times, right? And then the Messiah gave him an opportunity to redeem himself. And there's scripture that says, when I was poor, when I was naked, you clothed me. When I was hungry, you fed me. And it's like, that's the first thing that was playing in my mind while she pretty much was FaceTiming me. I'm hearing this. I'm hearing when I was cold, when I was naked, when I was hungry. So the Spanish guy is like, he's cold. All he had on was this thin shirt, like literally a thin shirt. He didn't have on no coat, nothing. And I'm looking at this and she was like, could you give him one of your coats? Now, I got many coats. I told you this already. I got so much clothes. I can't even wear the stuff. So he was like, I'm cold. And I just told her, hey, come on back and pick up a coat. Brand new. We're not talking about no $3 coat. We're talking about expensive. But I didn't even think twice about it. But I'm looking at the fact that I was just saying F the migrants. But yet, it's like my heart had compassion. And then the Most High began to remind me. He said, remember when you had nothing? Remember? Remember when you had nothing? Remember when you were hungry? Remember back in the day when you had nothing and you were struggling? You remember how that felt? And it's like I got up and I ran to the room and I started looking around and I found the coat. I mean, this coat would keep this guy warm. Like, this guy would never be cold with this particular coat. You know what I mean? And I'm not going to put no video up online. I'm not going to do one of those numbers of whatever the case is. I gave her the coat. She gave it to him. But I did ask her for video and an image because I wanted to see the brother. I wanted to see how he felt. And she sent me back video. I'm not going to show it. I'm not going to exploit the guy or whatever the case is for clicks. It's just that the story is deep for me because it humbled me. It's as if though the Most High made me redeem myself. It's like he rebuked me and said, you see what you said earlier? F the migrants. He said, don't do that. Don't say that. I understand you're frustrated. I understand. You might feel the government need to do this and the government need to do that. But those people are really in need. He said, those people are really struggling. He said, you know what that feels like. And what he told me is that a lot of us, we're wicked. We're evil. Our hearts is evil because we're warm. We got our place. We got our car. We got nice clothes. We're living it up. We got jobs. But these people don't got nothing. Now, we could go into the homeless that are in New York. We could go into all of that stuff. We could do all the comparisons. But let's think about this before we prejudge anything. How many of you, when you see the homeless in your city, that you're feeding them every day, clothing them every day? How many of you? How many of you are doing that? See, I compared the homeless that are in New York with the migrants. But the truth of the matter is, am I out there solving all the problems with the poor? No, because even the scripture says the poor you will always have with you. You will always have the poor with you. But my point is, when we say stuff like, well, what are you doing for the poor in New York? How many people are really helping them? Well, really nobody. Nobody's helping them. But when it came to this particular guy, after I said what I said, I found myself trying my best to help him. And when she sent me the video of him, he really had no coat and it's cold outside. I'm like, man, you know how that feels when you walking around and it's cold and you don't got no coat? Now, I've bought homeless food many times in New York City. I used to do that all the time when I was on a 9-to-5 grind, and I used to just ride past and see, homeless people. I would probably go get them some Chinese food or whatever the case is, or sometimes I might bring some, food from the crib. At the same time, with this situation, the reason why it frustrated me is because I'm like, the government allowed these people to come over here, and it's like they're not doing nothing for them. But this is what the Most High made me see. He said, look, you ain't asked to come over here. You were brought over here on cargo slave ships. You were enslaved by the other nations, and they brought you here. And you were naked, and your ancestors were struggling, and they were hungry. And then what they do to you? They tell you, oh, you don't like it here? Go back to your country. So we get the same kind of treatment as the migrants do every day. So he said, who are you to say F the migrants? How dare you say that? How dare you say F the migrants? Don't you realize they did the same thing to you? And he had to humble me down and make me realize the errors of my way. And he said, your heart was evil towards them. And he made me redeem myself. And when I gave her the coat, I'm talking about brand new. I didn't say, oh no, I need it. I ain't giving away no new coat. No, I gave her the coat. And I said, just take a video with the guy. And when she got a hold of the coat, she said she gave it to somebody else to give to him because he stepped off for a minute. I said, no. And I text her right away, and I started flipping. I was like, don't you give that coat to nobody else to give to that man. You give it to him in his hand. You give it to him. Don't put that in nobody else's hand to give, because they won't give it to him. They'll take it for themselves. It's a nice coat. It's a very nice coat. It's not cheap. Don't put that in nobody else's hand to give them the responsibility, because they don't care about those people either way. In all circumstances, they might take the coat for themselves. It's brand new. So she said she's going to wait there. And then the guy came back around, and she gave him the coat. And she FaceTimed me again with her giving me the coat. And then the guy was like, he's hungry. Could you buy him a hero sandwich? And she was asking me, could you buy him a hero sandwich? I think it's like $5 or whatever the case is. But I sent her like $20 and said, get him the sandwich, get him whatever else, you know what I'm saying? Because he said he's hungry. And in the process of doing that, it really humbled me. And it made me realize the errors of my ways. And basically what it is don't be so quick to judge people because they're struggling just like we struggle over here, fam. Just like we go through hard times. Yeah, they might be called migrants, this and that, but they struggle too, bro. And you can't be so cold-hearted that you shut up your bowels of compassion against people. You can't do that, fam. One of the greatest things you can do is give to somebody in need. You know? So his belly is full and he's warm. And I felt good about that. It really made me feel good, bro. Like, seriously. And then she sent me actual video with him with the coat on, and you see him with the coat happy and smiling. And, you know, it's like I made his day, bro. I made his day, and I was just saying F the migrants, bro. You know how that made me feel? Made me feel bad that I was saying that. And it taught me something. It taught me not to do that, bro. Don't say that. Don't say F the migrants. Those are people. Those are humans. They came over here seeking help. So if you're a person who probably had those same thoughts, if you're the type that probably you shut up your bowels of compassion for others, don't be that way. Even if you help one person, trust me, it's worth it. I'm glad to know that that guy is warm right now. He has a good coat. A good coat. And I hope that that helped him. Because when you really think about it, these guys, you know, they got a curfew going on in New York where they got to be back at a shelter or something along them lines. I don't know the intricate details of everything, but they got a curfew because there's been a lot of issues, a lot of drama, a lot of problems. But what you expect to have when people are in need, I mean, when you're cold, hungry, nowhere to stay, there's going to be drama because you want to survive. And a lot of these guys, you know, you got women, you got children, you know, they want work. There's a lot of stuff going on, and the government got to really get a hold of this, man, and really get this under control because, you know, you got these people out here in this harsh weather. It's crazy. They got to really do something. You know? But again, we have to really look at this for what it is. And again, in case you're joining in, the way the Most High made me see this is we were taken into captivity in slavery, and we were brought to different parts of the world as migrants. Same way. And when they abolished slavery, we were left to fend for ourselves. And because we had no jobs, because we had nothing, they literally created a new system to enslave us as workers. So pretty much we've been in the same thing. And the Most High made me see that. He said, don't neglect what you see going on when you have it in the power of your hands to do it. He said, today you can have all the clothes you have and tomorrow it's taken away. You understand? And that's something that you have to understand. You know, let me block this person real fast. I don't have no time for the devil. You have to really understand what's going on. And see, it's those people like that that will never have nothing in life because they really don't follow the Most High and their heart is evil. People like that are extremely evil. And your day is coming, sir. There's coming a day. Your day is coming, sir. And you're going to be thinking a lot when your day comes. Because just as the Most High made me see the error of my way, I understood now. See, my job is not to be a savior of the migrants. That's not my job. But what the Most High corrected me on is the words that I was uttering. That's what he corrected me on. Unlike other brothers that are out here that are evil and wicked, at least for myself, I can admit when I do or say something wrong. Whereas other people don't understand life. We all had struggles. We all go through struggles, and we don't know what life may bring us. We may come into a time where things are just dark and we lose everything we have. And we're going to be just like the migrants, hoping that somebody would have compassion. And again, I tell you, you may say, well, the migrants is getting all this attention and all of this stuff. But my question to you is, what are you doing for the homeless in your city? What are you doing? Let's take the migrants out of this. What exactly are you doing every single day for the homeless and the needy in your city? Because if you're not doing nothing, then you need to be quiet. You're just another hypocrite. Because if you're not doing nothing, you're not feeding, you're not clothing nobody, be quiet. Because you're being a hypocrite. Don't be those people that say, well, what about the homeless in our city? Well, what are you doing for them? Nothing. So you're just a hypocrite, you know? So that's pretty much what I wanted to say. And the greatest part about all of this is the fact that I had sent my wife a text message. And when I sent her the text message, I told her exactly what the Most High did. Because when she sent me the video, right, I could see the guy's image. He got on the coat. It's a Spanish brother. You know, he got on the coat. You know, I mean, you could see that he's good. She took a picture with him. He's smiling. And a video she took where he's trying it on. And you can see it. It fits him perfect. It's the coat was made for him. And when she sent that, I pretty much wrote back. And these are the exact words that I told her. I said, quote, I said F the migrants earlier, and the Most High made me redeem myself by giving me the opportunity to give away a coat to keep someone warm who is struggling. Coat was meant for him. I feel good now. And she wrote back and said, awesome. So proud of you. So not only did the Most High allow me to redeem myself, but it made my wife proud of me. You see how that go, guys? In other words, I was being harsh and I had an evil heart earlier. But by me showing compassion, it made her proud of me. You see that? So I just want you to think about that in your everyday life. I'm not saying go out there and save all the migrants. I'm not saying go out there and be a superhero. All I'm saying is this. Have compassion. Don't be evil towards those that are in need. You know, if someone is in need, do something. Because when the guy asked for a sandwich, he said, I don't want no money. He said, I don't want no money. I heard his voice. He said, I don't want no money. I'm just hungry. He said he didn't eat nothing for the day. And it just reminded me of where I came from. It reminded me of my day of struggling. Because I remember where I came from. And it was a dark place. So, hey, I'm going to leave that with you. Hopefully this video will resonate with your spirit to not be evil in your heart. Doesn't mean you're an evil person, but sometimes we can be evil in our heart and say things that is not good. And the Most High may check us and humble us. Because as soon as that happened, the Most High was like, look at all that I've done for you. Look at all that I've given you. Look at all the coats you have. I've given you this. And he made me realize, because I know that he did, because I know where I came from. And he told me exactly what to do and what to give away. And it felt good. And just like Peter denied the Messiah 3 times, I felt that the Most High gave me the opportunity to redeem myself the way he did Peter. Because if you can recall, later on in the story, Peter redeemed himself. Because by him denying the Messiah 3 times, he was condemned. But he allowed him by saying, "Do you love me?" He says, "Yes, yes, I do love you. I do." He redeemed himself. So everything negative that I said earlier, the Most High allowed me to change my wicked ways. Will you change yours? That's all I'm going to say. Ringo TV Reactions. Peace and blessings to everybody out there. We'll be back later on with more content. I just wanted to share that experience with you and hopes that it helped you out in your life. So I'll catch you later. Ringo TV Reaction. Rate, comment, and subscribe. I'm out. Peace and blessings. We out of here. Peace.
If you like our content, consider supporting via Cash App at $Ringo TV Raw. Become a patron on patreon.com for exclusive video content not shown on YouTube. You could also support through PayPal at paypal.me/Ringo TV Raw. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and click the bell to be notified of new content. Follow me on Instagram at Ringo TV Raw.
This is Ringo TV Reactions, the only channel on YouTube bringing you the truth 100% raw and uncut. I'm out. Peace.